Our old friend interest rates are stubbornly high still, so that's causing a little bit of turmoil in the market still. But it's kind of becoming the new norm having higher interest rates. So it kind of is what it is. And hopefully they're going to come down here in the next few months a little bit, but they are really stubborn right now. So we're going to dig into some data right now. So let's talk about nationwide right now. Home prices are on the rise overall, quite well overall. And a lot of markets across the country have very, very limited inventory, which is continuing to drive up prices in those markets. So this data here that you can see is 5 entities that track nationwide housing data. So anywhere between 5 and 10% is the pace that home prices are rising this year nationwide. We're going to dig in a little bit closer to home here. So we have the average closed price for the Austin area. So the last 4 months we've been doing really well. So we've shown very nice, slow, steady increases in home prices. We dipped down just a tad in July, which is a little bit to be expected as we head into the later summer months. And we get into the fall, we'll see a little seasonal drop in prices. But really nice to see that the price declines that we took earlier in the year have rebounded and we're on the road to recovery. Days on market in the Austin area are still pretty high, just under 60 days on the market for the average listing. Some listings are going to sell in a number of days if they're priced right, they're in the right neighborhood. So real estate is really hyper-local as to where things are going to sell really quickly. Other neighborhoods may not be as popular, they may not be as hot, so they may be on the market 90, 120 days. Also depends on condition and price of homes too as to how quickly they sell. The number of active listings in the Austin area is just about 10,500 listings on the market right now. That's quite a few. We kind of rewind about 18 months ago, we had about 1,500 listings on the market. So there's a lot more for buyers to choose from right now. The number of sales, so like the number of sales is bouncing around a little bit. We kind of had some nice spikes in the spring market. We're going to see a little bit softening in summer, very seasonal norms coming up here. So I wanted to share with you like the last 10 years. So here's the last 10 years. So you can really see there's very consistent seasonality in home pricing in the Austin area. So I wanted to dig in and share a little bit of different data with you than I would normally share. So I pulled some data from Zillow. So this is nationwide home values. So you can see this goes back to about 2000. So nationwide, you can see home values really have jumped up quite a bit. You can see a little bit of a dip there, which was the mortgage meltdown of like the 2008 era. And then you see our little housing dip that we had up here, but is back already on the incline nationwide. So that's good to see there. And then there's just the month over month data over to the right. And then also wanted to dig into, here's Austin. So here's Zillow's Austin data. So you can see during the 2008 mortgage meltdown, Austin very, very minimally felt that. So that was kind of nice for Austin. And then you can see we've took a little bit of a bigger hit this year in pricing. So we came down and we're kind of on the tick mark up. So what we have here, this is nationwide new listings. So you can see new listings are really on the decline. People really jumped in during the kind of the pre-post COVID era, kind of right in there. They jumped in and sold a lot of houses because the market was going crazy and they wanted to capitalize, sellers wanted to capitalize on what the market was doing. And obviously prices and whatnot, and homes, the number of homes for sale nationwide has certainly fallen quite a bit. All right, so here is Zillow's new listing data for the Austin area. So you can see there were a number of listings kind of right here on the right that kind of came in during the COVID era. A lot of sellers wanted to jump in and capitalize on what was happening in the market at that time, so they put their homes on the market. So you can see the number of new listings, people who are putting their homes on the market, has fallen quite a bit. It's fallen quite a bit nationwide, and it's fallen quite a bit in the Austin area as well. And one of the big reasons of that is interest rates. Back to our friend at the beginning of the video. Interest rates are high right now, so a lot of folks that have the 3, 4, 5% interest rates on their current homes that would like to move on, move somewhere else, get a bigger home, smaller home, whatever, they've decided to kind of settle in for a little bit. So the final piece of advice, if you're a seller, price your home right. Make sure it looks amazing, and it'll work out for you. Your home will get sold. It may not be exactly what you want it for, but the home will get sold. If you're a buyer, now is an excellent time to buy a home. I would be jumping all over that in the next 4 to 6 months because you're going to be disappointed a year from now going, man, prices really went back up again, didn't they? I should have bought back then. And last piece of advice, interest rates. They are what they are right now. If they go up, interest rates today are probably amazing. If they go to 8 and 9%, you'd be like, man, I really should have bought then. And if the interest rates do go back down, you can refinance and get it at a lower rate. So really, not many excuses for not buying right now. Might be a few. Happy to answer any questions you may have. Feel free to reach out. Thanks.